Hello, everyone, and welcome to TFOL Talk, the podcast where we shine a light on awesome teen fans in the LEGO community doing amazing things, and maybe the occasional AFOL too. I'm Doodlebricks, aka Kavi, and today we're going to be hanging out with Chris, otherwise known as Legends of Ninjago. How are you doing?
Oh, hey, I'm doing absolutely phenomenal. I got a little bit of a head cold, so my voice sounds a little weird right now, but doing
Oh,
great.
God, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get better soon.
It's fine. It's the time of the year. It's probably allergies too. So it's been so warm here, but
I get that.
well.
I see. So, to start with, who is Legends of Ninjago, and what do you do in the LEGO world?
So I actually just kind of realized about 2 months ago that I've been using the name Legends of Ninjago for almost 10 years. Ironically enough, Legends of Chima hits its 10-year mark next week, and there's no coincidence on that either. Whenever Legends of Chima came out, I was distraught because at the time it was supposed to mean the end of Ninjago, and I think I was maybe 15 at the time. Um, I guess 16 at the time because I'm 26 now, which is oof. And yeah, and so I started doing online communities and stuff about 10 years ago. Didn't really get like fully into like kind of what I consider Legends and Ninjago to be today, and that's mostly like mocking and like photography and stuff. Though I really don't like consider my channel like a photography channel by any means. But yeah, it's I'm anymore I do mocks. I try to do big fun mocks and stuff that take a while, but kind of pulling back from that. I got some really cool stuff coming up in 2023. Kind of do a mock every 2 months, kind of depending on the size and trying to do a lot of concept art mocks and stuff. I was able to do the Western Destiny's bounty last year, and that probably took about 2 or 3 months from conception to finalization, kind of when all said and done. But yeah, I've been doing this for probably, I believe I started my Twitter account in 2020, like January, or sorry, September or August.
Okay.
After I was kind of thrown into the spotlight a little bit, Braden, aka Ninja Whip, uploaded a logo that I did for the 10-year anniversary, and he put that up on Twitter. I'm like, okay, well, this could be kind of fun. Like, let's attach my name to this, attach Legends of Ninjago to this, and see if I can't get um, a little bit of a following off of Braden kind of pushing this logo. And so yeah, I did that logo and it blew up. I remember the Fold posted it and was like, "Oh, like this is so cool, yada yada yada." And I'm like, "The Fold, like the band that did the Weekend Whip, what?" Um, and then yeah, kind of one thing led to the other. That logo kind of helped me kind of kickstart my following a little bit. Of course, it didn't rocket me into any sort of spotlight or whatever. I still consider myself a pretty small content creator, and I'm 100% okay with that. The more eyes on me, the more like I feel like I need to produce and do work and stuff. Um, and yeah, so here we are in 2023. I've been doing this like for almost, I'll probably say 2 years, 3 years. Is that how math works? Yeah, something like that. I haven't taken math since high school. I haven't taken it in college, which is cool. Uh, and
I get that.
yeah, and I'm a moderator over on Masters of Jiu-Jitsu. We get to do a bunch of cool stuff on YouTube. That's kind of like um, our primary center of uh, I don't want to say communication because we still have our Discord and stuff and our Instagram account, but like we put most of our content out on YouTube. We're starting to kind of weasel our way back into TikTok and do more stuff on Instagram. But yeah, and Masters of Brick-Jitsu, short little plug, is a RFLM, which is a registered Lego fan media. So we are connected with the Lego Ambassadors Network through that. Get a lot of awesome opportunities through that, from set reviews, early set reviews, to being able to chat with set designers and kind of get some inside information. Um, I think at the time of this recording, we apparently have something coming out for the 12-year anniversary of
Yeah.
Ninjago. And so I'm excited to see what that is. I don't work on everything. I know a little bit about what's happening and what's going on. And I'm excited for everybody to see it, though at this point in time, people have probably already seen it. So
Yeah.
there's that. But yeah, so that's Legends of Ninjago.
Okay, that is awesome. You covered a lot of ground there.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries at all. That's good. All right, so I guess let's start with a little bit more about your username. So it came about because Ninjago was ending and being replaced by Chima, right? If you were so upset
Yeah,
by Chima coming in, how come you decided to kind of make that a part of your name?
it was more of like I was reclaiming what Chima was trying to steal. Which is funny because it was
Okay.
called Legends of Chima. I'm like, I don't like Legends of Chima. Frick that. We need Legends of Ninjago. Um, yeah, I was 14, 15 years old. Um, like I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not mad about it. It's a fun username. I've considered probably 3 or 4 times in the last year changing it. And then like this like January beginning of the year kind of rolled around, and then like I kind of updated my like branding and stuff. I'm a graphic designer, by trade. That's what I do on the day to day. So like, I'm just gonna like really lean into this Legends and Ninjago stuff and just like continue to push it. Even though, like as you said before, like a lot of people know me by Chris, because of my username, which is funny because I have this conversation a lot with my family about how online people will call me Chris, but my full name is Christian, and nobody
Okay.
in my day to day calls me Chris. Um, and so on the occasion, whenever like I'm reading something or I'm on a phone call with someone from um, like my Lego sphere, like it's funny because they say Chris, and I got a dirty look from my mom one time when I was doing something for Mr. Brick-Jitsu because all my friends over there know me as Chris, and I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. My mom just, when I was like 4 or 5, like I wanted to shorten my name to Chris because I didn't want to write out Christian as a whole because why would you want to write out 4 extra letters for the sake of your name? Um, yeah, sorry, a little bit of a tangent there, but
No worries.
names are a funny thing because of like Legend of Ninjago is part of that. Chris is part of that. And I will gladly. I went to Brick Fair in Virginia last year. I guess it was 2 years ago now. The entire week, Chris. Nobody called me Christian, and I didn't even correct them once. I'm like, it's fine. Like I'll go by Chris. It's all right.
Oh my God, that's funny. Okay, I see. That's great. Honestly, I love how, like when you're online, you just get like a bunch of different names that like, you would have never used otherwise. Like for example, a
Yup.
lot of people call
Yup.
me Doodle, and I'm like, that's really
Mhm.
funny. Like that's good. It's very funny.
Well, and I didn't even know your actual name until like just now. So
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, because you said it earlier. I'm like, maybe somewhere along the line someone had said it, but I didn't actually know it until then. So
Oh, okay. That's cool. But yeah, I see what you're saying. So you were upset about basically Chima replacing Ninjago, and then you were like, I'm gonna take it back and made it kind of incorporated it into Ninjago, I guess, in your username. That
yeah,
honestly though, it worked out really well because I think it's a great name. Like I'm glad you're sticking with it because it works really well.
thank you. Yeah, it's always a fun story too when people ask me about it. So
Yeah, it's great.
that being said, with Chima and stuff, like I still love Chima. I still have a 10-year anniversary post coming out, I guess Monday. Like I fell in love with at least the builds for Chima. Wasn't a super big fan of the show, so
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm the same. I really like Chima. Show is but the sets, my God,
yeah,
those are awesome.
especially the like the Outlander series or the Outlander season, whenever they're like out in the jungle and stuff. And Laveritus's Outlander base is probably my favorite Chima set to ever exist, ever.
Really,
So, oh
really.
yeah, it's so good.
That's so cool. I got that one years ago on discount at Toys R Us when like
Same.
ages ago. So, what?
Yeah, I said same. Like I think I ended up paying like $25 for it, which was awesome because I think I got it like my my freshman year of college. Yeah,
Okay,
it's kind of when I got back into Lego after I started college. So
I see.
yeah, good
Okay,
fun.
that is awesome. All right. Okay, well, I was gonna ask how you got into the Lego community and more specifically the Ninjago community, but I guess you kind of already answered how
Mm,
you got into the Ninjago community with Masters of Brick Jitsu and all that. But how did you get into just
right.
the Lego community itself?
Oh man, probably through Eurobrick. Eurobrick is kind of almost I almost say like an arcane like sort of platform now. It used to have all sorts of forums and stuff, forums from Ninjago, like it'd redo one every year, so that just be like, I think the first year I was on there must have been 2013. But I also just remember like starting to follow like Brickopedia was the first place that I saw Ninjago pictures, and that was like late 2010. And so from there, like it just kind of spiraled into me finding Eurobrick, and then me finding various Lego news websites, and then various Lego news websites, and then I want to say like 2014, 2015 is kind of when everything shifted over to Instagram. And I had kind of like a small private little like Lego Instagram for a while, but didn't really do anything with it until 2020 when I like fully started pushing the Legends of Ninjago stuff. Um, yeah, so a lot of it was because I wanted to see what was new and what was coming up. Um, and then I also had a Tumblr account for a while. Um,
Really?
yeah, there used to be a massive, and there still might be. I don't know. I haven't used Tumblr in years, but there used to be a massive following of Ninjago fans on Tumblr and stuff. And so, I did a little bit of stuff here and there. Back when I thought I was good at doing mocks and stuff, and I mean, even some of them still kind of hold up today. But yeah, I used to post old pictures and mocks and stuff on there, but nowhere near to the level that I am doing it now. So it's just kind of been a weird history, but I'm definitely glad to be where I'm at now with what I'm doing. So,
Absolutely. That's awesome. You really jumped around a lot of platforms at the beginning,
oh
didn't
yeah,
you?
oh, oh, yeah. I even had a Flickr account. I think my Flickr account's still up, and that's just a bunch of random pictures and stuff. Like, there's maybe 4 or 5 Lego pictures, like 4 or 5 personal Lego pictures. I had an OC, Ninjago OC for a while, who I built out an entire story. I still have it, but like I'm just like, it's not really something that I want to put out there. Not that it's like inappropriate or bad or whatever. It's just not something that really needs to see the light of day.
Yeah, I get that. It's something younger you created. It's like that can stay there with younger
Right,
me. Yeah, I
right,
totally get that. I
right.
have a lot of those.
Maybe one day it'll see the light of day, but if I do that, I want to like do proper mocks and stuff for it, and like maybe build a whole storyline out of it. But yeah, it's nothing that I'm super concerned about people seeing at the moment. Um, so there's
I
that.
see. That's fair. If you guys want to see more stuff about the OC, make sure to let Chris know.
If people ask for it, I'll do it. I'll dig that up. I do have actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's funny because like I do continually update the outfit for this character based off
Really?
of recent pieces that have come out. Like I still update the outfit for my OC probably once every other year, just to kind of keep it fresh. Like in my brain, like the story is still ongoing and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of funny how that works. And now that I'm thinking about it, like now that I'm really thinking about it, like I feel like I work on it more than I give credit for. But we're not going to get into that. If people want to see it, like they can
Okay.
they can tell me that. But we'll get to that some other year.
That's awesome. Okay, that's good to know. That's interesting. All right.
Chris OC Lord.
Chris OC lore, exactly.
Start a hashtag.
Oh my God. Oh my God, though. Actually, though, I'm gonna hide that somewhere in the description. Hashtag Chris OC lore.
No, please don't.
Okay.
Actually, I say that, but it would give me incentive to do it. Like it would give me incentive to do it.
That's cool. That's cool. I'll think about it. Maybe. Maybe.
Okay. All right, all right, all right.
Okay, so you mentioned that you're part of Masters of Brick Jitsu, and Masters of Brick Jitsu is an recognized Lego fan media who does all sorts of Ninjago and Monkey Kid stuff, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yep, sure
So,
do.
So you said that you joined because Ninja Whip reached out to you to do the logo for the 10th anniversary documentary that they did for Ninjago, right?
Yes, kind of.
Kind of. Okay.
Um, yeah, it was kind of a weird. So like I did a 10-year anniversary logo for just for fun. Honestly, it was just kind of like
Oh.
a fun thing that I did. It was the Ninjago, like the Ninjago logo with the 10 and the O. I think it said 10 years. The original one that I put out said 10 in the O. It was just 10. And then for whatever reason, like the one that Braden put out, and then the final one that I put out on my channel, it did say 10 years. Um, I think it was just like I had different options and stuff. Um, and so yeah, that was the one that kind of blew up and like went everywhere because people like weren't expecting it. And then Braden's like, "Oh, I really like this. Do you mind if I put it up on the up on my Instagram or my Twitter account?" I'm like, "Sure, absolutely, please." Um, and that's when I was like, "Okay, like I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind like my name being attached to this." So that's when I created a Twitter account so that I could be attached to it. Um,
Okay.
and then he reached out again because of that to do the documentary logo. He was like, "Hey, like I like what you did here. Um, would you mind if we used it for this documentary that we're doing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, cool. Like the Ninja Whip is like asking me to do something. Like, sure, absolutely do that. That's so cool." Um, and then probably 2 or 3 months after that, he reached out to, or after the documentary like was going and stuff. So this was probably I'm gonna say April of 2021. He was like, "Hey, like, do you want to be a part of this thing that I'm doing? It's basically just like an adult community for Ninjago fans." I'm like, "Sure, absolutely, I absolutely love that. That'd be so cool." He's like, "Oh, do you want to do a logo for it?" I'm like, "Sure, why not? Like, that's a passion of mine." Um, insert little meme of graphic design as my passion. Um, and yeah, and so I did that, and then yeah, here we are. Master of Jiu-Jitsu has been going on for I want to say a year and a half now. Um, I think like our official YouTube start date at least was April of 2021. So we're nearing about
Okay.
2.5 years, or 2 years here in about a month or so, or a couple months or so. So yeah,
Wow, that's cool. It feels like it's been around for longer, honestly.
right, right. The last like 2 years have probably been two of the fastest years of my life, while also being two of like the slowest years of my life. Like looking back on stuff, like I think about what I was doing 2 years ago this time. Like yeah, we were still in like lockdown and stuff for the most part, but like yeah, 2 years ago was like a totally different world, totally different me. So yeah, it's crazy cupcakes.
I totally get you. I feel that as well. It's the same for me. A lot has happened in that short amount of time. And like you said, it's gone incredibly fast, but also incredibly slow at the same time. So you told us how you got into the Lego community generally, but how did you get into Lego specifically? Like just Lego itself.
Um, I honestly feel like Lego has almost always been part of like my life as far back as I remember. Um, I remember getting Bionicle back in 2000 and like 2002 for Christmas. Um, and that didn't really kickstart my passion for Lego. I definitely loved the Bionicles and stuff. It was a huge talking point with my friends and stuff at school. But I want to say probably 2004, 2000, maybe 2006. That's when the set would have come out. Aqua Raiders, two technically. I remember getting this little like I want to say like 6.99 or whatever. This little box with a little sub in it, and that's what I think that's what truly kickstarted my passion for Lego. We had some old Lego and stuff that I dug out from that my dad used to have or something, maybe cousins or something. Then I started building stuff with that. Started getting into Knight's Kingdom, really big. So it's like this like weird like little city build worth of like Knight's Kingdom, also technically Knight's Kingdom 2, and Operators. Um, and yeah, so I just had this like table down in my bedroom, just chock full of Legos and stuff, and little stories that were happening. And I had an underwater, cavern with like a big castle on top of it and stuff. And um, yeah, that's I think that's what really kickstarted my love for Lego. It's something that like I definitely has always I claim has always been part of my life, and I truly believe that in some respect, and something that I intend to always be part of my life. Like it's just at this point in time, it's where passion just kind of turns into a uh, something that you can't really like. Like I'm known as a Lego guy at work. Like my office is covered in Lego. I have a little Lego jacket with like Lego patches and stuff on it that I got a couple of years ago. Like I am the Lego guy to the people that I am surrounded by. So yeah,
That is
yeah,
so
it was
cool.
young beginnings, and then uh, financial hurricane since then. So
Oh yeah, I think that's probably the most relatable statement in just the whole Lego world. Financial
yo,
hurricane. Oh
financial
boy.
hurricane.
Yeah, definitely. That it's worth it. It's worth the money.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Like I have a I'm part of a local Lego users group as well, which I always feel weird about like the term Lego users group because it sounds like it's something that it's not. But yeah, I'm also part of that local group as well. And I just kind of got into that. I love my online communities and stuff, but um, almost everything that I do is centered around a Ninjago. And I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, oh, like I'd like to branch out to kind of a broader Lego community and stuff. And here in Oklahoma City, we have a Bricks and Minifigs, and we have this other local shop called Bricksville, and both of them are just like really. I mean, Bricks and Minifigs is cool. It's kind of a chain Lego store throughout the U.S. And then we've got Bricksville, which is a local ran by a husband and wife, and they're awesome. They're incredible, and yeah, and it's cool to me being a Ninjago fan, an AFOL Ninjago fan, because those aren't very common
Yeah.
across the internet or across the general AFOL community to begin with. So it's always kind of cool to share my love of Ninjago. Um, because it's not something that you really see like adult fans doing, you know, detailed mocks and stuff of, or just mocks in general of for Ninjago. So um,
True.
again, one of those things that I just like, I am not ashamed that it's part of my day to day. Like I'm a proud Lego fan, and it's one of those things that because of how proud I am of what I do, people around me just accept it. And they're like, oh, that's just part of who Chris is, like who Christian is, like, and that's fine. Even my mom and like my mom just kind of eventually came to terms with it. She's like, okay, well, I'm stuck with this, and her her significant other, they've been dating for like 10 years. Like her fiance, let's go with fiance. Her fiance, his son, is also a big Instagram user. His name is Matty Bricks. He does like a bunch of like auctions and stuff for Star Wars minifigures.
Oh,
So like Lego is also a massive part of his life. And so yeah, my dad wanted a football player. He got a Lego fan. My mom wanted. I think my mom just always wanted what was best for me, and that
that's
just happened
good.
to be Lego. So, yeah,
Wow.
very, very, very happy for that. But yeah, again, like Lego's just always been, and like I said, always will be. Like I have every intention on going to work for Lego at some point in time in my future, one way
That
or
is
the other.
so
So
cool. What would
yeah,
you what would you like to do there? Like design sets or I guess work on like graphic design work or something else?
ideally I'd like to go into the marketing and graphic design. I think doing sets would be cool, but like I also like through interviews and stuff see how like I don't want to say difficult because like I'm never one to shy away from a challenge. Um, but how much different what they do is compared to kind of what people think that they do versus like I mean I wouldn't mind being like a concept designer and stuff, concept designer for whatever theme or a yeah, concept designer would be cool, graphic designer would be cool, working in marketing, doing logos for themes, this, that, and the other thing. Like I want to take something that I do on the day to day, whether that's, building sets or designing sets or doing graphic design. So I'd really be open to any, but I think right now, like where my passion really lies, will still always be graphic design and like the marketing aspect of it. Because I mean, Lego is part of the reason that like I went to graphic design in the first place. Just like
Really?
the box art was incredible. That and like food packaging. Like I've always had this like weird thing for food packaging. Like I don't even know how to describe that, and that's a totally different story for a totally different time. But um, food packaging, like food packaging is a totally different ballgame. But yeah,
That's
graphic design
cool.
for boxes, posters. Like I eat up like Lego media, and yeah, yep. Part of
Wow.
been
Okay.
part of my graphic design journey has always been Lego in some regards or another. Like Bionicle was like so dark and like grungy and stuff. But whenever I
Yeah.
started collecting it, and yeah, Bionicle's graphic design, their marketing stuff, like
The Paraka rap.
yeah, I was just gonna bring up. I was gonna bring up the Paraka rap, and I was gonna bring up the marketing. Um, Whenever they brought on All American Rejects to do a commercial, when
Right.
they used Move Along, um, like I was already like a big fan of that song beforehand, just because I was little like 8 or 9, like grungy me, and yeah, they had that would mix with the Bionicle. I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. Like
The
Lego
best
Lego just
mixture.
yeah, Lego just never failed me. Like they were yeah, they were hitting their target market real well. So
Wow, that's fantastic. I was gonna say, hopefully I see you over at Lego because it's also my dream to work for them as a set designer
hey,
mostly, but
nice.
hopefully I'll see you there. That or a concept artist, I think.
Yeah, I hope to see you over at Lego too. That's awesome. Like I didn't realize you want to be a set designer though. After that Ultra Agents video that you did, like absolutely
Oh, you
like
saw that.
you oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, I saw that.
Thank you.
Absolutely, that was still so cool, so
Thank
cool.
ah, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm looking at the mic right over there, but I definitely plan on making more videos like that soon. So
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
thank you. That really means a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's I mean that's it kind of goes. I don't know when we'll get to that later because I know you'll probably ask the question about like what I want to say to TFOLs and stuff. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
wait for that.
We'll save that for
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
I was gonna say though, on that note, you did give some really good advice a little while back. Kind of the two things you said was, how kind of the good advice. I guess one was advice and one was just a cool statement. How one you said that kind of the passion of Lego just kind of took over and just took you from there. Because I hear a lot of people call Lego just a hobby, but I've always found for myself, and I've noticed with a lot of other people, that it kind of seems to go beyond just a hobby. It becomes a passion, kind of like a lifestyle. And also, like you said, you own it, therefore everybody around you just accepts it. And that is fantastic advice because like if you own the thing, like if you enjoy something and you own it, obviously as long as it's nothing bad, right? Like people will accept that.
Right.
They'll be like, "Look, he likes the thing. It's not he isn't like I guess self-conscious about it." That's awesome and that makes people kind of I guess not mind that much because if you're like nervous about it or like, oh, I don't know if people are gonna, judge me for this, that, or the other, you kind of radiate that energy and then other people kind of pick up on that. So that was some really good advice you dropped there.
Well, thanks. It's yeah. You mentioned that, and it's kind of cool because I like through college, and I guess mostly through college. I had a lot of friends who started buying Lego because of me. And I don't want to like pat myself on the back for that or anything because it's really has nothing to do with that. It's just again, it's radiating that that passion that you have. Um, because like Lego still is kind of one of those things that like yes, they have like the adult Legos and stuff now, and that's all fine and dandy. And I know a lot of people who have gone through and bought like the flower sets or the Friend set or the Seinfeld set or whatever something that's kind of in their wheelhouse. But I still like things like Legends like Legends of Chima, Ninjago, like Nexo Knights, like those things are like things that are typically aimed at children. Um, that like even still like there are people that push back a little bit against it. They're like, oh, like well, yeah, that's meant for a 12-year-old, and I'm like, oh, like this 12-year-old theme is meant for a 12-year-old. Like you're right, you're definitely right. But like I was 14 when this theme came out. Like I'm still so invested into it, and I'm not gonna let you like take that away from me. Like
Really?
Ninjago is and probably always will be my favorite Ninjago theme. Or sorry, my favorite Lego theme. Um, and so yeah, it really is just like owning that, and like for as silly as it sounds, like yeah, it's kind of a confidence thing, but it's also just like not really letting people, not really letting other people's opinions about you like skew your perception of who you are.
Yes.
Especially if like Lego is something that you consider to be even just a hobby, like like I said, I consider like Lego to be more of a passion, more of a lifestyle these days, just because of how much of like my life it takes up. Like I kind of count my like evenings. I'm like, oh, am I gonna do Lego tonight, or am I gonna I'm gonna play Fortnite or like something like that. Like that's how I kind of like plan my afternoons. Like it's one or the other, or sometimes I take my dog out for a walk or whatever. The things are just kind of like in addition to,
Exactly.
but yeah, it's like, I mean, even today, I've got that lugging and stuff. Like, I kind of plan my life around Lego, and that's to some people that's like really silly, but like, I mean, people plan their life around football. People plan their life
Yeah,
around sports and stuff. So like why does my passion have to take a back seat to yours, or why do you think that your passion is different than mine? Like you're sitting there yelling at a screen for 4 hours, and I'm here, listening to music and vibing with my Lego bricks. Like, frick off.
exactly. It's a creative endeavor.
Hmm. Working all those brain parts and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really good that you say that. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that people would sometimes push back against you like having Lego and stuff. Because I was actually gonna ask if you've had anything like that or like people teasing you about it or in the past or stuff like that.
Even like, well, man. So like in elementary school, obviously that's kind of like the primary target age for Lego. And then in middle school, I started bringing minifigures to school. My teachers didn't like that, but like my friends did still. Like that's still kind of like the age of like, yeah, it's what, 12, 13, 14, 15, kind of depending on where you're at. Even 11 sometimes. And that was just kind of like my friends were like, oh, like that's cool and stuff. And I'm like, no, like look at this. Like this is like the brand new like Nia spinner that just came out. Like this is awesome. Look at her like really cool golden blades. Like this piece has never made in gold before. And like I'll admit, sometimes I got really annoying about like my Lego stuff. Like I was one of those kids, unfortunately. And I yeah, sorry to all my friends out there who probably not listening to this in the first place.
Who
Um,
knows?
but
Maybe.
it's still one of those things. And then there, like, I still, loved it through high school. I actually met one of my best friends because of Lego in high school. Just this kid that was like a year older than me and stuff. There was a girl in my student council that I brought a Lego to school one day, and she's like, well, I bet you don't have enough to bring a new minifigure to school every day of the school year. And I'm like, Kennedy, like, bet, like, I will absolutely bring a new one to school every day, and I did for the
Oh my God.
entirety and for the entirety of my sophomore year. Even though she told me to stop after the first semester, she's like, okay, like I get it. Like you have enough for one every day. And I'm like, nope, like we're gonna take this all the way. We're gonna be petty about this. Um, but because I did that, one of there's this kid, his name is Michael, and he's like, I have that minifigure. He's like, that's the spinning minifigure from like this one like Lego Ninjago. He's like, my little brother loves Lego Ninjago. He's like, oh, I think that Lego Ninjago is cool too. And so like we became like best friends because of that, and we're still great friends. So when I went home for Christmas last month, like we hung out and played Lego at a bar. Basically, I say play Lego. We built Lego at a bar because that's just like the evolution of being a Lego fan. Like you hang out at people's houses when you're in high school, and then hang out in people's dorm rooms building Lego in college, which I definitely did. And then you hang out at a bar when you're out of college and you're an adult that can do that sort of stuff. So,
Wow. That is
so
so cool.
it's yeah, like I said, it's been something that's always been part of who I am. And like I said, like I've definitely gotten like feed kickback. Even my mom for a while was like, hey, like you're 14, like maybe we don't do this anymore. And I'm like, Mom, I love you, but like no. And it's funny because we were just kind of reminiscing about that when I was home for Christmas last month. Uh, yeah, and then my mom kind of gave me grief for a while because of like my love for Lego, my continued passion for it. As a 13 or 14-year old, which is still like primary target age for quite a few, not primary target age, but like still around the target age for a lot of the themes. So we were just kind of reminiscing about that over Christmas stuff, and like kind of how funny that was that my mom tried stopping this from happening, and my sister kept on making side jokes. She's like, well, he'd be able to, afford a whole lot more. Like he'd be able to pay off his car and stuff. And I'm like, car payments are car payments. Like you're supposed to pay for them forever until you die. Like, that's how that works. Like, come on. And I'm over here, spending 3 months of rent on Lego every 2 to 3 months. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I'm definitely not doing that.
Okay.
Advice for
Okay.
Team Legos. Advice for Team Lego fans: you don't have to spend just because something's out. Like, only spend money on it if something that you really want and something that you like are sure about getting. Don't just go willy nilly wasting money on Lego.
Definitely.
Especially those Speedor things from Legends of Chima. I wasted so much money
Oh
on
my
those.
God.
That being said, they're going to be in a poster.
Jeez, man. That's awesome. Well, yeah, that's some good financial advice. Only buy the sets that you really need. I try to stick to that as
Right.
much as I can, but yeah, it's good advice.
It's tough. I know it's extremely tough. Um, because I feel like I've kind of gotten into this habit of like going through, especially since I got a new job about a year and a half ago, so it's not really new anymore. But I got a job about a year and a half ago, and it was a kind of a substantial pay raise from the job that I had before. And so I don't think there's been a Ninjago wave in the last two, I guess, since I got the job, which is I guess only three waves now that I haven't gotten or bought all of. But
Wow.
I also have, adult money and teenagers don't. So just be careful with your money, please. Like,
Exactly.
sets are always really cool, but um, if you really want to try to find a way to get it, I don't want to be like that cranky old grandpa that's like, oh, get a job, but like find ways to help around the house or something and talk to your parents or something. I don't want to be preaching like that.
Definitely. No. I get what you're saying though, for sure. Also, like I guess waiting until closer to the time that maybe it'll retire is better because then it'll be around for like a year and a half ish, like 2 years. So
Right,
you got time.
right, absolutely.
And also asking for it for like birthdays and Christmases or whatever holidays you
Oh,
celebrate that you get gifts for. So that
oh
works
yeah.
too.
My mom still won't buy me Lego for holidays. She's like, I just don't even know what to buy you anymore. She's like, you just go off and buy whatever you want. And I'm like, that's fair.
Yeah.
Because like all of my all I have four siblings and they're all like, oh, like what do you want for Christmas this year? And I'm like, I hate to be that guy, but I'm like, either find me something that like that I don't collect, like City or I actually asked for like the new 2023 Friends stuff. Not that it was really out on shelves, but um, my sister and I celebrated Christmas. My older sister and I celebrated Christmas a little bit after the Christmas time and stuff. So I'm like, hey, like if you want to buy me like that $20 like Friends set, like that'd be really cool. And she did, so it was great.
That's awesome.
Because like that new Friends stuff is cool. Like I
Oh yeah.
genuinely hope that Ninjago gets something along the lines of that sort of like it's still in the same universe, but like it's a little bit of like a reboot and stuff with like these new characters also featuring old characters and yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for the summer. But I digress. I digress.
I mean though, those rumors for the new sets, it looks like we're getting some new characters, so maybe, who knows?
Yeah, that is assuming that they're real. I in
True.
no capacity can comment on any of that.
Of
But
course, right.
there's a high chance that they're not real. There's a high chance that there is. I hope that what's there is real because a lot of it sounds really cool. And of course, I think there was like what one or two dragons in there. Like sign me the frick up.
Right.
I'm all about those dragons. I think total we're at like 68 or 70
Whoa.
dragons for Ninjago, and that includes like special little promo ones and stuff too, which are absolute beasts to track down or just make out of your bricks that you have at home, which I have done. But yeah, that's story for another day.
Definitely. Okay, so if Lego was gonna start focusing more on teens, like how they have with the whole Adults Welcome campaign, what do you think they could do? Like, what do you think they could do that would specifically cater to TFOLs more?
So that's always kind of like a hard question because teams, like especially from like Lego, I don't want to speak for Lego directly, but like
Of course.
generally fans' dark ages will come from the years of probably 13, 14 to, you know, on most of the time. A lot of people will get into Lego and just never go back. Or sorry, we'll stop being into Lego and just never go back. And so like I think for Lego, there's definitely an untapped market, but I also think it's just like creating IPs that teens are going to want to associate with. Um, because like Teen Ninjago fans, I think are a special breed. Ninjago fans as a whole are a special breed. Like, I want to say that I saw a number somewhere around like Ninjago loses 30% of their fan base every year, or something like that. That's like speculation.
Okay.
Um, But that was like something that I had heard like from a source that I trusted close to Lego. And so it's it's having to, I mean, because like teen culture changes all the time too. Like the
Oh
ages of like
yeah.
13 to 19 are just like some of like the weirdest times of like your life. Those are some of the weirdest times of my life, some of the weirdest times of just like everybody's life. And so I feel like they could do a better job maybe finding IPs that are generated towards that, maybe including teen fans in commercials, getting in circles where teen fans are already part of, whether that be like, you know, magazines or like something that you're reading or on constantly. I think that Lego's done kind of that with the adults stuff because I think that teens see that adults are getting back into Lego and therefore they're wanting to get into Lego too. Again, a lot of it's just kind of speculation, but like I think a lot of it just comes down to like what's available and stuff. Like it's great for fans like us who have had Ninjago for so long and like kind of know that it's going to be something that's going to be there for at least a while. I think it's just finding relevance within circles for teen fans. Yeah, that's a hard question because like there's just I don't think there's been enough time to really check the market out on that. Plus, I also know that like historically, like 13 and 19 is just like a weird space for like marketers in general because like people are like the like teenagers and stuff are starting to get money and stuff as they get older, like 16, 17, you're getting jobs, and then you know like I was trying to find a way to capture that money. You know, even 13, 14, 15. Like I was lucky because I used to do paper outs back when I was younger, and so like I had money from that to be able to buy Lego. Not of course everything that I wanted, but that's just part of, you know, being a kid.
Exactly.
So looking at you, Garmadon's Dark Fortress, like I'll have you one day. Um,
Oh yeah,
but
man.
that's such a cool set. My one of my white whales when it comes to Ninjago, that and the Temple Bear Jitsu, but uh, another story for another day. But yeah, I think it's finding relevancy within teen culture. You know that could be TikTok, you know, Instagram and stuff is still big, but among you know teen users and stuff, and yeah, just it's yeah, Lego is already cool, but like I even know like the you know there are cool kids out there, quote unquote, that you know look at Lego like, oh, this is dumb, and that's fine. You can't win over everyone, but I definitely think it's finding
Yeah.
relevancy with IPs, especially with like Ninjago, like for as much as like yeah, and also like I mean, bringing it back to Ninjago and stuff as far as like relevancy and stuff, it's also kind of giving darker tones and stuff. Like Hunted and SOG did a great job of kind of pushing a narrative that was a little more adult, a little more darker. And again, like the other thing is I have to realize too is that like at the end of the day, it's still a kids show. Not everything's going to be perfect. You can't face trauma, you know, trauma responses and stuff in an 11-minute episode. There are a lot of things I wish they would have done with Crystallized that I know they just couldn't due to time constraints and just due to like you know, a 6-year-old is going to sit down and watch Crystallize isn't going to understand trauma responses and those sort of things. Not that it's a bad thing to bring up. It's just something that, unfortunately, it's not that they can't talk about it. It's that they're choosing not to for the sake of simplicity for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of an odd tangent, but like it goes back to how to make things relevant for teen fans. And I also think it's just I don't know. I don't know, lowering expectations on adult fans too. So, um,
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying for sure. I mean, I think it's really interesting what you said about how kind of by marketing to the adult fan base, it can also get teens into it more because they're seeing that adults are getting it and they're like, wait, it's not weird? Like,
yeah,
because, you know, a lot of teens want to be adults. So I guess when they see that, they're like, wait a second, I can do that? Like,
yeah, exactly. And that's I think for as much as people want to say that they don't, they have problems with Lego doing what they're doing. Like Lego is a group of professionals. Like they have you know marketing people on staff for a reason. They know what they're doing. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they make missteps, one way or the other. But I don't know. It's I've always been kind of one of like the trust the system sort of people, and that's just that might also just come from like me not wanting to upset Lego. So that as if there's some sort of like deity or whatever that's gonna deny me entrance from like Lego heaven someday. Like I
Oh
don't know.
my god.
It's weird. But I
I get
do
what you're
think
saying though.
yeah, like I trust Lego to know what they're doing most of the time, and
Yeah,
that might be controversial these days with as much as often as people like to just dunk on Lego, but you know, it is what it is.
definitely. I get what you're saying. I do think also, like you said, doing more relevant IPs or things like that could also be a really good way. And maybe doing like a theme specifically catered to kind of older teens and stuff with an animation style more akin to like Monkey Kid or something, so it
Mhm.
doesn't get mixed up with the normal stuff. That could work as well.
Yeah, yeah. There's with some of like some new themes on the horizon, just kind of through the grapevines and stuff. Like there are opportunities, definitely. Not that I'm saying that anything's going to happen, but like there could be great opportunities for Lego to do things like that.
Definitely.
Because I do think that like Ninjago is great, but like for as much of a Ninjago fan as I have been and always will be, like it needs something like what Friends got. I think in order to stay relevant, especially to the aging fans like myself that have been following it for 12 years. And again, I'm gonna be one of those people. I own almost every single Ninjago minifigure to ever exist. I'm not gonna stop that now,
Wow.
um, because I'm just one of those people.
You're dedicated.
Yeah, dedicated is a word. Definitely a word for sure. Obsessed, maybe. Um, but yeah, it's not that Ninjago hasn't become fun. It's just it's the same run of the mill thing kind of every year. It's mechs and boats and flying vehicles, and it needs a little bit of a breath of fresh air. And I'm really hoping that we
Yeah.
get that this summer with the 2023 summer sets. It's a great chance for Lego to start over and kind of put their best foot forward with the theme again. Sometimes, like I went back and I grabbed my old minifigures and stuff. I'm like, there's just like I remember the days opening these and just like feeling excited about building what was inside these boxes. And a lot of the times these days, it just kind of feels like a chore because like I want the figures and I want the builds, but like I've been like out of the last probably 10 or 15 sets that I've gotten, not even from Ninjago specifically, like, but most of them being Ninjago, like, there are sets that have either just kind of gone into boxes automatically or things that I've been parted out for pieces for other marks. Um, like Zane's Ice Dragon was such a fun build because it was just genuinely exciting for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because it's a dragon and because like dragons just kind of became my thing randomly last year, or if it was just like it was a spectacular build. A lot of repetition, a lot of like weird parts and stuff on it, but like it was a great time. And that's what I need for Lego is just knowing that like I'm just knowing that I'm gonna have a good time with the Lego set. And I don't know if that's
Yeah.
a mindset that I need to have. Core, the rest of Core didn't really scratch that itch. I have still yet to get Jay's Titan Mech or the Ninja box, the Ninja Creative box, or the Kai's mech thing, which I'm turning into a pixel mech 100%. Like that will 100% turn
Ooh.
into a pixel mech. Um, like yeah, it's become more fun to do mocks as of late than in the last couple of years than to build actual Lego sets. I think it's probably more of a me thing than a Lego thing, but yeah,
I get that though. I definitely get that. After a while, you kind of get used to it, right? And then you want to change up, like you said. I do.
right.
I'm not sure how many Monkey Kid sets you have, but I would recommend those because I am insanely into Monkey Kid. This entire shelf right here is just Monkey Kid sets, and
Yeah,
like,
I saw that. I have the Monkey Kid mech. Like I'm building that today, and I'm so excited. The
oh
the
my
the
god,
old one, not the new one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I got the combi mech, and then the flyer and stuff from the most recent Lego purchase and stuff. And so I'm excited to see what those are like. I'm really excited for the Ink General figures and stuff. Those are really cool.
Oh, yeah,
And
they
I'm
are.
excited to get the rest of the wave. I'm gonna try to get the rest of the wave. I still want to buy the Heavenly Realm set and see if I can't turn into Shintaru because I want to do a
Oh,
Shintaro mock this year, but
that's a
I
good
don't
idea.
know. Right? Like it just like the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh, this could be Shintaro so easily.
I
Um,
never thought of that.
yeah. And we'll see if it happens. It might be one of those like tax return things now because like I'm an adult and like have to pay like big boy taxes now. It's never
Yeah.
fun. Don't become an adult. Teens out there, don't become an adult. It's not fun.
The
Pay
best
taxes.
advice.
Yeah, just don't do it. Just commit tax fraud. Just kidding. I didn't say that.
Oh my
Don't commit
god.
tax fraud. You will go to jail, or at least be audited for like 10 years. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Um,
No, don't do that.
but don't do that. I do not endorse that previous statement I said. But yeah, so I don't remember where all that came from, but that's where we're at.
Yeah. This entire thing, I get that totally. But yeah, if you're like looking for some more like really interesting and like new build experiences, I mean, the mech is definitely a good one. And then like the
I'm
City of Lanterns is amazing, and this truck,
so
this
it's
that one, yeah. Amazing.
the 3-tiered one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. That and that truck, and then the Heavenly Realms are both sitting in my car on Lego. And like I said, I'm hoping it's a tax return purchase. But yeah, the City of Lanterns, that was like probably one of my favorite builds of 2022. Like I think I bought that day, like the day of launch last year, and then didn't get until like the middle of January because that's just kind of how things work.
Oof.
And oh man, I was ecstatic for the build, and it scratched every itch because it just kind of reminded me of like Ninjago City and stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I continue to add on to my Ninjago City stuff because I'm very proud of what I was able to do with the Ninjago City Plaza and then my additions to the Ninjago City Docks. Then I'm working on the Ninjago City Entertainment District and then a Ninjago City Uptown section, and then another portion that I don't really want to talk about yet, for the
Oh,
sake of
good.
I'm not sure if it's going to be one thing or the other, but I'm really excited to get it done either way because if the one thing that I want to do right now doesn't happen now, which I'll probably start maybe teasing here the next couple of weeks. If it doesn't happen now, it will happen in the nearish future. It's one of my mocks that I plan to do this year because I think by the time I'm done, the Ninjago City layout that I want to have will be I think right now it's 32 by 140 studs, 144 studs, and I want it to be 72 by 144 studs, and then beyond that I have a plan to make it almost an entire big table sort of thing that will just be sections of thing. So the plan is to have a really big Ninjago City set build up thing or whatever that kind of takes the small compactness of the original cities that have come out so far, and then just continue to further and further on. I plan on adding Exoforce and Monkey Kid in the next
Ooh.
couple of additions to the city, just because I'm like Ninjago is great and stuff, but let's build up what inspired it, and then also what has come since then. And so I'm actually working on a new Pigsy, the Monkey Kid build that I have. The pieces for Pigsy's food stand will be built into Ninjago City Ninjago City Entertainment District with modifications to make it look a little bit more like the show, and less like what came in the set
Okay.
because the set's built for another dueler system within Monkey Kid. So little
Yeah.
spoilers for the future, but I'm really excited to kind of start showing some of that stuff off, and teasing stuff for the future because I'm always one that just loves teasing. I had a big mock that I was working on that I was teasing, and then I pulled way back off of that once I realized that wasn't something that people would have enjoyed it, but I don't think after Crystallize premiered, it was something that was really worth my time doing anymore. So
Okay.
I will be doing something. I'll be doing something similar to what I had in mind. I'll also be doing probably a smaller version of the Crystal King Temple, mostly just something else, kind of
Ooh.
a little micro scale almost. So
I
yeah,
see.
the plan was to do a 6 foot build, and that's just it's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Oh my god, a 6 foot build?
I had plans for it. I have plans for it. I don't know if they'll ever. I don't know if I'll ever make them public. But I had plans for it. I had general outlines of what each section was kind of look like, how everything was going to connect. And then I just kind of took a moment. I'm like, is this something people are actually going to care about? Is this something that I really care about? Who am I building this for? Because I want to do it. I could still do it. I'll probably still finish the Oni mask from the original front of it, just kind of as a reminder of what could have been.
Yeah.
Um, but it'll probably be something that I never actually bring to fruition because there are other
Okay.
things that I would rather focus my time on that are Ninjago related or whatnot. So
That's fair.
Yeah,
And that's a huge project, a 6-foot Crystal King temple. Like, wow.
it would technically be floating, like about a foot and a half
True.
would just be like off the ground, so it'd be up on PVC pipe,
That's fair.
and the PVC pipe would rest on like the bottom section of the bottom floor and stuff, and everything would kind of build around it. And it's not going to happen. Like, it'd be cool if it did, but it's not. No skin off my back for it not coming to fruition, unfortunately. But
Yeah, that's
it is what it is.
understandable.
It's just part of building mocks and stuff. That's also when I realized that, like, I probably need to be pulling back off of some of these bigger mocks. Like the Temple of Fortitude was great, but it's having some structural issues now and things. Like, I have to do a review for it. Well, I get to do a review for it. Like, I'm very proud of what I was able to do with that. But I'm gonna do a review for it, and then it will probably cease to exist just because it will. I need those pieces for other things. I have plans for the pieces, and yeah, it's just it's you can't keep all that stuff around forever. Sometimes things got to
Totally.
go in the brick bin.
The Lego all returns to the drawers and brick bin eventually one day.
Yep,
It all
brick.
comes back to where it started.
Yep, yes sir, yes sir.
So, I guess the last question is, do you have any advice for TFOLs?
Keep pushing through. Like I said before, teen years are weird years. Teen years are even weirder for Lego fans. Keep pushing on. It will probably pay off eventually. And I say probably. Sometimes you get to your 20s, you're like, oh, maybe this isn't something I want to do anymore. But like, in addition to that, like, you don't have to continue. Like, you don't have to always be buying Lego. You don't always have to be buying the newest best things. Like, use what you have. Take apart some of those sets that have been sitting there collecting dust. Make something out of them, even if you don't think it's great. Like just you putting those bricks together is still just an expression of like who you are and what you like want to see. And it comes down to just like create for yourself. And that's, I have to tell myself that all the time. Having a small following on Instagram is fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, if I'm not making what I want to make for myself, then what's the point of doing it for your followers? Like, that's fine and dandy to an extent, but I really think you need to be true to yourself and who you are, and like, do what you want to do. Like, don't go out of the way and do stuff for others, whether that's getting rid of Lego altogether or building certain things for other people. Like, be true to yourself, be who you are, break some bricks and put them back together.
That's fantastic advice. All right, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on, Chris. It was awesome having you. And before we end this episode, do you have any social media or other things that you'd like to plug?
Yeah, so you can find me personally over at Legends of Ninjago on Twitter and Instagram. I'm also on Discord. I'm always down for a chat on Discord. So friend request me. Let's have a chat. And then of course I'm going to plug Masters of Brick Jitsu just because that's a part of who I am now, part of who I've always been, right here in my heart. And we're available on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So go check that out. Go check out some of my review videos. Go check out my stealth videos over on my stealth crystallized vehicles over on YouTube, because those things are so cool.
They are.
And well, thank you. And yeah, so that's where you'll find me. That's where I'll be.
You're also on Brick Jitsu Cast, right?
Yes, we are kind of putting that on hold for a little bit, just until we, kind of figure out what we want to do next. But yeah, we just, other content and stuff has been a little more important to us. So
Totally.
yeah, just part of figuring out YouTube and what works and what doesn't. So hopefully one day we'll get back into it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So everything that we've talked about here and that Chris has mentioned will be linked in the description and stuff like that. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. That's all for now, and we'll see you all later.